Welcome back to the 245 podcast, which is the amount of snow we got in inches here in Minnesota.
How many times have we used that exact same intro, dog?
I think the last time we used that was with Hornbeak.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Why do you know that?
Welcome to the 245 podcast, which is the number of inches of snow that it snowed yesterday. That's what it felt like, at least. I don't know what you guys thought about that, but
I would say that's at least 24 and a half inches of snow, right?
24.5? Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
The one thing I told President's Cabinet was I want to be able to call a snow day in my first year in office. And we haven't had a snow day here in a long time.
Yeah.
And so I was keeping my fingers crossed that we were going to get a snow day. So this honestly fulfilled the biggest dream of my life, to be able to call a snow day in my first year as president.
Because I remember us then talking to him about it too, because he talked about the snow day.
Yes.
I guess I wasn't there,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know. I did
Josh.
listen to that episode, though.
Josh, did you guys get snow in Iowa?
We've gotten dusted several times, but we right now we maybe have a quarter of an inch on the grass, but we haven't gotten any substantial amount really.
Well, I'll
Dang.
tell you that we have not been dusted. We have had an avalanche.
Yeah. My parents have been sending me pictures of, they had a snow day Monday, right?
Yeah, Vail did.
Yep.
We did
That's
not.
crazy.
So I did have 2 classes canceled though, so I only had choir on Monday. But yeah, pretty crazy. Because I was playing pickleball in 50-degree weather a couple weeks ago. Then this past Saturday morning, I played pickleball in 20-degree weather. And now it snowed like a foot.
That is
so
cold.
It actually wasn't too bad because it was sunny. And 20 degrees in March is different than 20 degrees in December. Well,
What?
not really. Well,
Nope. No, it's not. Actually, 20 degrees is 20 degrees.
well,
Temperature is not relative, bud.
it's different.
Well, after
It's
the whole
not.
winter,
It's
you're more
literally not.
acclimated to colder temperatures, so it doesn't feel as cold.
Yeah. I guess
Or
that's
it's
the way
the
you could put it.
moisture?
But if actually,
What?
Mitch
I was
is
in
right.
just a-
Humidity also makes a difference.
Yeah.
yeah, I was just in a crew neck and sweatpants by the end, so it was actually pretty nice. And now it snowed a foot. So that's just great. People are. How are the roads, Joey? You're the one that's driving.
They're brutal.
Yeah.
They're not great. They're probably good now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were not good. Yeah, the
This
last
morning.
2 days. Yeah. This
Yeah.
morning was bad.
Yeah. You know what? It happens.
Just go slow. Just go slow. Use your brakes.
Nothing to be freaked out about.
Nothing to be freaks out. It's good weather to do donuts in parking lots. So
I was
I've
thinking about
I've
that.
done that
on my way
twice.
back.
I did that a couple
yeah,
nights
it's so
ago.
much fun.
What's the one? Because usually the best way to do it is to reverse, right?
Okay.
Because I was having trouble doing this, and I remember you showing me, but I couldn't remember what it was.
So yeah, after Nick at Night 2 years ago, I taught you how to do this.
yeah.
So you have to know most cars are front wheel drive. So if you want to drift, you have to get your wheels that are spinning to break loose, right?
Yep.
Because the wheels that aren't spinning aren't going to slide because they're always just going the same speed as your car.
Yep.
So if you have a rear wheel drive car, which sports cars are, you can go forward and drift it, and it's so much fun. So I think Bray's Jaguar is rear wheel drive, so it's so much fun in the snow because as you're going forward, you go around a curve, you just give it a little gas, you can get the back going.
Yeah.
But most cars are front wheel drive, so my car
Right.
is that. So you go backwards, so then therefore your front wheels are now in the back. So then you go, and then you give it gas and you just crank the wheel and you just kind of slide the front end.
Right.
And then if you're real good, as you're doing that, as you're sliding, you shift into drive and then you pull away. So it's you're going backwards, spin, and in transition, you drive forward. It's so much
So you got to
fun.
give a gas, then just whip the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
Disclaimer.
you gotta
please
break.
donut responsibly.
Yes. You have to break the wheels loose.
Yeah.
If you
Joey,
go too
what do
slow.
I do if my car is all-wheel drive?
No fun.
Facts.
No fun. Very safe. Very good for your children.
Bertha's all-wheel drive.
But so boring.
Yeah, it's really boring in the snow. That's the only thing I miss about having a truck last year, because trucks are rear wheel drive too. So
Yep. And trucks are even better because their back end is so light
Yeah.
that they can just slide so easily, and they're so much fun.
Mike,
Yeah.
do you remember when we were juniors or seniors, and we played at Horizons, and we would like do donuts after when we were leaving.
Yep. I remember because then we had the one really epic time
Yeah,
where
like we both did donuts, and then we ended up like facing each other.
Yeah, totally. It was like, we were like doing it, and then we stopped, and we were like facing each other, like we were in like some standoff.
Yeah, like
so
a duel.
funny. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
but yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Mitch, how's Supermarket Simulator going tonight?
Good as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you talked about this last week. What? It's a mobile game or a
No,
PC game?
it's a PC game on Steam.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
It sounds so dumb.
I mean, on paper, yes, but when you play it
on PC, no.
True, but I don't know. I just find it fun.
Did it help you in Eaglebrook surfing this weekend?
Yes, but I also didn't have much to do because I got demoted to the bookstore.
Demoted?
You did.
That's how I see it.
Bad behavior. You were demoted.
That's tough. That's tough.
No, it was still fun though.
See, we think that like Supermarket Simulator will transfer to real life, just like how Wii Golf will transfer to real life.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, and now I learned how to properly grip a golf club, so it's over for y'all.
You're going to just destroy Evan now?
Yeah.
After a week of golf class?
After not swinging a golf club once.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've never swung a golf club?
In golf class.
Oh, okay.
Because you just had an exam, right?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. There were some really unclear questions, and he even admitted that after he got all the papers back. And so, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really worried about it.
What were like the questions like?
There were like 5 short answer ones. So like give me scenarios where a golfer can pick up a ball without penalty, or draw a par 4 and explain what a par 4 means. Stuff like that. Or stuff talking about etiquette. There was a matching section. And then like multiple choice and true false.
Wow.
So it was a good mix. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see how you do on the actual golf course.
Yeah.
We'll have to go this spring with the boys.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Your skills.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be that much better, but
yeah. Well,
I can dream.
You will. Wait, did you guys hear that?
Yep.
I did. Yep.
Yeah? Joey?
I heard Mitch burp. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I was talking about the male tone.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, you'll like this first one.
Okay.
This is from Beth Ritzma.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Good or bad?
No. It's the rebuttal. It's the rebuttal. You'll love the subject too. God bless the Cruz brothers. Josh, you like that subject, I bet.
It's great, yeah. Couldn't agree more.
She said, "Hi guys. Justin and Josh took the words right out of my mouth. No need to use big words. Just use a variety. Wouldn't that be wild? Exclamation point, exclamation point.
That's so mean, Mom.
It allows you to be specific. Oh, and winky face emoji. It allows you to be specific and interesting."
Who?
Joey, I think you just need to stop talking.
I know, because it's just going to go on.
She said, "You have a great podcast, and I look forward to listening every week. Your audience looks up to you, so thanks for the wholesome content." A mom knows wholesome, right? Question mark?
Agree.
I don't know why I said question mark. This is what happens when I have voice text all the time. Just start saying question mark.
No, it's like a question, like a mom knows wholesome, right?
Yeah, but I should have just been able to say it as a question.
Yeah, but
I added question mark.
Yeah.
Stay amazing! Exclamation point. Mrs. Ritzma /mom. Wholesome. How do you feel about that?
I think I'm going to keep my mouth shut is what I'm going to do.
It's probably a good idea.
I'm working on that in life, so.
Next email, is the basic, YouTube, first like and comment from Mitch.
Let's go. Somehow I did it.
We need to stop reading these emails.
No, we have to keep.
I think it's entertaining. I think the people need to be updated on who gets the first like and comment.
Yeah, that's true.
Every episode.
Someone should keep score.
It's either me, Michael Johnson, or Mitch.
Yeah,
that's the tally right now. Josh, you want to read the last email?
Sure. This one's from Willem Bruin. It says, "Hello, boys. It's been a few minutes since I last emailed, so I figured that I would email in with an idea for a tier list, especially since you guys are basically a tier list podcast now."
Okay, I have something to say about that. Don't just go and start saying that, Willem.
We're not that low.
Until we like release 3 tier list podcasts in a row, you can't say we're a tier list podcast.
Yeah,
because we still try to break it up.
Yeah,
a little
we're
bit.
still society and culture.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
His idea is, I think you should do a tier list where you go out and get one type of food. It could be chips, ice cream, soda pop / fountain drinks, cookies, etc., but you buy a few different kinds of brands of the item. Then on the podcast, you try these different snacks live and put them in a tier list. There are a lot of different things you could do with this, and I hope that you will try it sometime soon on the pod. Let me know what you think, and keep on doing what you're doing. Willem.
Dang, he wants us to spend our valuable $87 already.
Wow.
I mean, otherwise it's just sitting and earning interest for Mike's bank account.
Exactly.
We can't have that. We cannot have that.
That is an accurate statement. I'll make it 90 when we get it out of my bank account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
In 5 years.
What do you guys think about that idea?
I think we should do that. It's like a snack food tier list, but we try them live.
Yeah.
But then should we try to get like weird stuff that none of us have had?
I think what he was saying is that like we would decide to do chips, and then we would buy a bunch of different kinds of chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be hard to get. I mean, if we did chips, we could get enough different kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe we could just do like more snack foods, and it could be a bunch of different kinds of snack foods.
Uh-huh.
It reminds me a lot of like Good Mythical Morning about stuff they do on their show.
Yeah.
So they'll do like, they have a bunch of peanut butter flavored things, and they like rank the best peanut butter flavored snack.
Yeah.
Or they did like all the cheesy snacks, so like Cheetos, flavor blasted goldfish, Cheez-Its, stuff like that. And then you kind of rank and do like a bracket for them moving on and stuff. We could
make a bracket.
We could make a bracket and have fans fill out a bracket based on what they think that we will make it.
Dude, yeah, well, do it like 16
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And
That'd
they filled
be
a
crazy.
bracket.
Start from the Sweet 16.
We should have thought of this. We could have done it along with March Madness
Darn it.
next year.
Dang.
Well, no, we can just do like May Madness.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. May Madness. Hey guys,
Madness.
get ready for May Madness. We'll get some brackets out to you guys in April.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be so epic.
I think we should have people send in suggestions of what we should do.
Okay.
Wait, so
For
would we
food.
do? You were saying we would do like a bracket of one type of food, like with different, or what would we do it with?
We have to decide what we want.
We could either do one type of food, or we could do like what I just said, like a bunch of different cheesy things, or a bunch of different.
I think we
like-
should do a bunch of different foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or
like
we
the
could
thing I
like
said.
pick 4 different categories and have like the 4 regions.
The 4 regions.
The 4 regions.
Well, yeah.
How do we seed?
Well, Rhett and Link just did that they do a March Madness thing every year. So they did peanut butter stuff, flavored stuff. And they had one region was peanut butter flavored snacks. One was peanut butter flavored ice cream, and one was peanut butter flavored candy. And then that was the regions.
Okay.
So like we could do stuff like that
Okay.
too. I don't know.
We got next board meeting.
Next
we'll
board
figure it-
meeting.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why we have board meetings.
Yep.
Yeah. We have them all the time.
That's a good idea, Willem. I like it. We'll make it happen. May Madness. There we go.
May the madness
Bang.
be with you.
And also with you. Amen. It's like, so before this podcast, we were struggling to get the mics working.
Not we, Mike.
I was struggling to get the mics working. And then we prayed the classic dinner prayer.
Yeah.
I already forget how it starts.
Dear Lord Jesus,
Be our guest.
let this food.
To us be blessed.
Amen.
And then it worked.
Yeah.
They also
Hey,
restarted
let
the
it be
computer.
known.
Gosh,
that-
whoa,
that
we prayed.
Micah and Joey were at this for a while, and I just said, have you tried turning it off and on again? And so they restarted it, we prayed, and it worked. So who was right all along?
The Trinity.
That's what we do here at Northwestern.
He's right.
Yep. Well, this week we're finally talking about our spring breaks, which felt like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, but
And it sure doesn't look like spring right now.
no, it is not. well, our break was a spring break, and then we came back to winter. So, oh well.
Yep.
How do I want to do this? Want to do 1% at a time, 1 day at a time? Just kidding. That's too much.
1 day at a time, each person goes.
Who wants to start?
Just a person at a time.
1% at a
Mike,
time.
I want you to start.
Aw.
Wow.
Okay.
So generous.
Thanks, Josh.
The producer.
When was spring break? Oh yeah. March 7th was first day of spring break. Okay, that's right. Well, my spring break started off well. I went to Fantastic Sam's and got a haircut. And that's all I did that day. The next day, Friday, we left for our cabin on the Friday night. It was my family, my grandparents, and Kylie and Josh. Not Josh Cruz, unfortunately. I wish you were there too. Would have been a great party if you were there. It was Josh Schoenberg. He was there, and we all went up to the cabin, and we hung out there. We watched some movies, played some games. We collected sap from the trees, which is pretty cool. So my grandparents collect sap from trees, and then they make maple syrup.
What's the process? Do you just boil it a bunch?
So yeah, they tap the trees, and they use like milk cartons to collect the sap instead of buckets or whatever people usually use. And then, yeah, basically they have to boil it a ton and put it through the specific like machine that they bought to get all the water out of the sap. And apparently it's like 30 something gallons of sap for 1 gallon of syrup.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, it was a crazy ratio.
So usually like their best year, which was last year, I think, they had like 150 gallons of sap. And this year they had like 30 something. So they were only able to get 1 gallon of sap this year versus last year they had a lot more. I mean, a gallon of sap is still a lot, but
Syrup
is still a lot, but yeah, not as much as last year. So
Is it like really good syrup? Like
yeah,
you eat it with stuff and
yep. Yeah, I'm not a big syrup guy. I like it. I just don't use syrup a lot in general, so I don't use it a ton, but my family does.
Do they sell it at all?
They don't. No, they just use it for themselves and give it away to family and friends and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, we went out multiple times while we were there and collected sap. Just like took the things and poured them into a big jar or big bucket. And yeah, we did some manual labor while we were there. You know, it's not a cabin trip without moving some wood or something. So my grandpa's gonna build a pottery shack for my grandma. So there's a spot that he wanted to move some wood that's been sitting there for like 17 years, as long as can remember. And we moved the wood from one location to another location that will have to be moved again this summer probably. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
Efficiency.
yeah, very efficient, very efficient. But it was fun. It didn't actually take that long. Yeah, we were at the cabin till Tuesday, and then we came back. And I was just at home for the rest of break. Went to the History Museum, which I have not been there in a long time. Have you guys been there?
No.
No? Josh, you been there?
Well, probably, but it's probably been a while.
the Minnesota History Museum.
Yeah.
We've all been there because it was a school field trip, but I haven't been there in a long time.
Which field trip? What year?
Maybe it's a 4th grade one, so then you wouldn't have gone. I don't
Darn.
know. What it was.
Oh.
Now I feel so excluded, Josh.
He was still in the hoods of Chicago.
I was. We the hood, we the hood.
He was learning about different kinds of history. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Anyways, went to the History Museum. Next day,
What does that even mean?
What does this guy think
I don't
it is?
know. I don't even know the history of the Chicago streets.
Yeah. The history of the Italian mob.
Yeah, he was the Italian mob.
I'm literally not even Italian, bro.
That's your new job title, the Italian mob.
That's it.
At you,
Yeah.
Rook.
I feel like Joey looks kind of Italian. Sometimes.
I think
Italian.
I've
True.
heard that before for people.
I feel like it's the nose.
Okay,
It might be the
too
nose.
far.
Mitch, you might
That's
be right.
too far.
What?
I'm gonna come over there and beat you up right now.
That's valid, Mitch.
Thank you, Josh.
Wow, that's crazy.
I can't believe it. My biggest insecurity. in front of
I was just gonna say the only reason you would pull up like that if you're really insecure about your nose. So,
Joey, have some confidence in your nose. It's a good nose. It's a good Italian nose.
You should know that it's gonna be all right.
Go back to talking about whatever you're talking about.
I just remember,
if he knows, he knows.
If you're having any just negative thoughts about Mitch, just remember, God knows. God knows what you're thinking right now. So he's losing it. He's losing it.
Okay, what were you saying about the History Museum?
I went there.
Mike, that's so cool.
The History Museum?
Thanks.
I went there.
What exhibits were there right now?
Well, the reason that we went, it was with some of Kylie's friends. It was a Charles Schultz history exhibit about like the Peanuts and Charlie Brown and stuff. So some people that were in Charlie Brown wanted to go, and they invited Kylie and I. So we went to that and went to some of the old exhibits that I remember going to as a kid. There was one of my favorite ones that was gone, and I was so sad. Do you remember at all the house?
Yeah, like the
exhibit
tornado one.
No, not that one. That one's still there, which we did do. But it was a house with like a bed that you would sit on and it would like break, and a backyard area. And there was like a spot where you look up some stairs and there's like a fire going on and stuff.
What was it for?
I don't really know. Like
No, I don't
homes,
remember,
homes,
sorry.
like the history of homes. I don't know. But the tornado one was still there, and then there was the war room, which I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, with the plane.
With the plane. So got to do that. The next day went and played. That's when I played pickleball in 50-degree weather. So went. Jalen and Caleb were playing with some friends. They invited Kylie and I to do that. Played for a while. It was super nice out. It was one of the warmest days I think we've had this month. Kind of crazy to think that it looks like this now. But
Yeah. Also crazy that February's been warmer than March.
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 Yeah. I think that's my entire break. I think.
Yeah, because then you talked about, like 2 episodes ago, is it? About what you did when you came back to school.
What did I do when I came back to school?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I just remember talking about it. So I would assume everyone else did. Because we were saving spring breaks for this episode.
Yeah. Oh, we recorded a podcast with Justin, too. That's what we did. Anyways, that's my spring break. During spring break, I also finished my films for 516, submitted them, and they both got in. So that's hype.
Nice.
Wait, so you made 2?
So I made a film and then I made a documentary.
What was the documentary on again?
The documentary, so it was end of January, and it was 2 months, less than 2 months, about a month and a half until the 516 films were due. And I was like, I kind of want to make a documentary because, I just can't finish a project and then not do anything. I just have to be doing something.
Yeah.
So I decided one day I should make a documentary. And then I'm like, look, I'm trying to figure out what to do it about. And then I remember, I was trying to think about people at UNW I could do it on. And I remember the theater director, it's her 10th anniversary of working here this year. So they're having like a 10-year celebration thing in May. I was like, oh, maybe I could do like a documentary on like her 10 years of being the director here. So I emailed her while I was in class. She responded within 2 minutes, loved the idea. And then that night I started filming it because I went to one of their Charlie Brown rehearsals and filmed some B-roll. And then emailed a bunch of alumni and interviewed a bunch of alumni, including Jalen, the director, and then a couple other staff members, and edited a documentary and submitted it in about a month and a half, which was kind of crazy.
Wow.
But it was worth it. Got in. It's nominated for Best Documentary along with one other documentary. And then my film was nominated for Best Film along with 6 other films. And then it's also nominated for Best Cinematography, Screenplay, Editing, Sound Design. And then it could win Audience Choice as well.
Dang.
And then I did cinematography on a music video, which is in, and another film that's in as well. So
there's a high chance you have deja vu here?
There's a high chance. Well, the problem
if
is,
you say it, I would
the problem
run
is,
up on stage and punch you in the face. Just straight up.
I can't have deja vu because I haven't won anything yet. But
Wait, I think Mitch is saying you could win
if I won 2 things.
Yeah, if you won 2.
Then I could have some deja vu.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy if I had some deja
2
vu.
in the same 516 festival.
Just
Yeah.
remember, punch you in the face.
I would punch myself in the face.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Good, we're on the same page about that.
No, but you got to do it for the bit.
The funny thing is, like, half the people there would probably get it.
Exactly.
But the people that didn't would think I'm
the worst.
the worst.
I'll give you a standing O
Yeah?
I would
for
not.
saying it.
Thanks, Mitch.
You'd have to join me.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'd leave you
you just
hanging.
have to.
I'd leave you hanging.
Anyway, so have you guys both got your 516 tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Josh, you can watch online if you want, or you can watch the live stream later. When is it?
Yeah.
April 15th at 7 p.m. It's a Monday. 2 weeks
Why
from...
is it a Monday?
I don't know. They're changing it to Friday next year, so...
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
But
Jeez.
the live stream will be on YouTube afterwards as well. So, yeah, I'm hoping to win something. But if I don't, that's all right. I get to watch the films on the big screen. It's a really good lineup this year. I'm really excited about it. It's a little bit longer this year because the films are a little bit longer, which I think is fun. I've always thought the festival should be a little longer, but
How long are your 2?
8 minutes, and then for the film, and 7:20 for the documentary.
So it's a really short doc.
It is a really short documentary, but the maximum any film can be is 8.
Oh, okay.
And a
So
lot
they're like mini docs. They're not like...
Yeah, no, not like 20-minute or hour-long documentaries. But also, just this year, a lot of the films are at 8 minutes. Like in past years, not all of them have gotten that, but like pretty much all the ones that got in this year are 8 minutes, so it's just gonna be a little bit longer than usual. But yeah, that's my spring break. Popcorn Joey.
Oh, I have graduated spring break, so I worked.
Nice.
You know what else I did? I lived at Evan's house.
I was
yeah.
gonna ask you about that.
Yeah. So that's literally what they were gone in Florida for spring break. So from like Friday to Friday, I just like lived at Evan's house.
Yeah.
So I just sleep there every night, make food there. On my days off, I was just there all day. I just hung out with Annie. I tried to get her to go for a walk. Yeah.
Does Ava know about her?
That was pretty funny.
Oh, the dog.
That was
The dog.
The dog's called Annie.
Dog. Jeez. But yeah, I just kind of just hung out there. That week was also the last game for basketball, but I think I talked about that. So, and Ava was in Arizona, so I
Lonely.
sat around and did
Yeah.
nothing.
so lonely.
Absolutely nothing. But it was good to just have.
What'd you end the season at for record?
I don't even know. Does I get confused?
What do you think?
I think JV was 16-8 or something like that.
Okay.
Varsity was probably 17-9. No, 17-9 maybe.
According
Solid.
to this, they were 21-7, but I don't know if that's right.
A little off, but
They played 28 games. Oh yes, because it's 26 plus 2 for sections. What was it?
21-7.
And what did I say?
17 and
something.
7.
Yeah. So I was off, but there you go. Thanks, Josh, for being my fact checker. I
Dang.
appreciate that. I think the JV record I actually got right, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, popcorn, juice.
that was short.
Juice.
Like I said, I graduated.
I don't think I haven't talked about mine at all yet, have
No.
I?
No.
guess
No.
I think before the fact I said what I was doing. But we got off, our last day of school was Friday, March 1, was it? Man, that's already like a month ago. Yeah,
Dang.
Friday, March 1. And then at like 7 o'clock on March 2, me and 8 other college kids got in a van and drove to Denver. So it was me and my co-leader was Keely, who is another engineer. So I've known her since freshman year. And she actually is from Maple Grove and went to Maranatha. So it's kind of a fun fact that we were in the same spot but didn't know each other before Dort.
Dang.
But it was her and then 7 other people who I basically didn't know at all. Wait, no, 6 other people. We were supposed to have 9 people in our group, but one guy broke his ankle like 2 days before coming, playing intramural football.
That's brutal.
So he got his ankles broken, literally.
Oh,
I can't. Yeah, I think it was his ankle. He like had a really bad fracture and couldn't put any weight on it. And I'm like, dude, I hate to tell you, but
You're out.
I don't think you're going to be able to do anything if you come along with us. And you're just going to be miserable for the whole drive. And just would have not have been a good time for him. So we ended up having 8. Anyways, we drove to Denver on Saturday, got there around 7. And then Sunday we went to church. We were staying at a small church called Glennon Heights Mennonite, which was where one of the guys we were working with went. So their church just let us stay in the basement. And then, what, Joey?
That wasn't even me laughing. That was Mitch.
Mitch was laughing.
Yeah.
I figured it was like Joey wheezing in the background.
Wheezing.
Jeez. Why is it the
Weezer.
Roast Joey podcast? I didn't sign up for this.
I wasn't trying to roast you. You just laugh a lot. So
That's true. No, it was Mitch laughing. I did find that funny, but Mitch was the one laughing.
Yeah.
what
I
was
don't know.
funny?
I just think it's funny that you just get thrown in the basement. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't like they had places to stay. We were just literally sleeping on the floor in their classrooms. So, Yep. Anyways, we were there to work with an organization called Brothers Redevelopment, and every year they do what they call a paint-a-thon, which basically elderly or disabled people can apply for the paint-a-thon to get their house painted for free. And they paint like 150 houses a year. And this was very early spring, so we were actually the first people to participate in the paint-a-thon. And thankfully our week was warm enough that we could paint. It needs to be like 40 degrees or above to be able to paint, and we were like hitting 40 at about 9 to 10 every morning. Every night it would drop below that. But one day we went to like their headquarters and their shop where they store all their painting supplies. We did some orientation, and then by mid-morning we went out to the house that we were painting, and it was like a double wide trailer home. It was sheet metal, so it had never been painted. Like it was just the raw metal, but the trailer park was threatening eviction if they didn't like make their home look better. So we were able to come in and paint the house to try and like appease the trailer park. And yeah,
did it work?
We painted it, so yes. I think there were other things too, like their property needed some cleaning.
Oh.
So basically 4 of the days we went there for the majority of the day and painted, because it just takes a lot of work to tape and cut and roll an entire house. And then we also took a bunch of junk off their property because they just had a lot of trash and old boxes and random stuff lying around. So we took like 2 truckloads of junk and threw it in a dumpster and just tried to make things look nicer. And that was the majority of like the days. We did like other stuff at night. I'm trying to think of some activities. We went to a nearby like foothill one night and did some hiking, because Denver is about like 20-30 minutes out from like the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, so you don't have to drive too far. Another night, have you guys heard of Red Rocks?
Worship?
I mean, yes. We should have gone to Red Rocks Church. That would have been fun. No. The venue.
I don't think so.
It's one of like the most famous venues in America, but that's okay if you haven't heard of it.
I think I have heard of it, actually. So.
It's a huge amphitheater that's like cut out of the rock.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Any band who like records a live show records it there. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's really cool, but it's owned by the city of Denver, so when there's not a show happening, it's just like open to the public. It's just like a park. So we went there and walked around and got to see it. Now I really want to go to a show there. I did even before I saw it, but it would be a lot of fun. And then, I don't know, a lot of time was just spent like at the church making meals, because we had to cook all of our own food, doing dishes, doing devotions every night. And then on Saturday, that was like our day off that we didn't have any like service work to do. So we went to Rocky Mountain National Park and did some hiking and also walked around in Estes Park, which is kind of like the jumping off point to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's just a little tourist town kind of at the base of the Rockies. So, and then Sunday we drove back, and Monday and Tuesday I did homework because heat transfer sucks.
And you probably didn't get to do it over break.
Nope. We had like a heat transfer assignment the last week before spring break that was due on Friday. And it was just taking like hours and hours. Like people were spending 5 to 6 hours and getting like 2 problems done. So
Dang.
Enough people emailed the prof that he moved it to like the day we got back from spring break. And I'm like, thanks, but that's actually not that helpful because I'm gone most of spring break.
Yeah.
But I finished it on Monday and Tuesday. So
Nice.
Good work.
You're like that.
So what was this through? I mean, I know it was through Dort, but like what at Dort?
So every spring break this happens. It's called PLIA, which stands for Putting Love into Action. And basically we just have a bunch of sites at cities all over the US, and there's a group of, it's all basically student organized. So there's a group of co-chairs of PLIA. My roommate is one of them. It's like 5 students who are kind of like the head of the whole thing. And then there are PLIA leaders, and I had to apply for that. And there's 2 leaders, 1 boy and 1 girl, that go to every site. This year there were, I think, 11 sites, so 22 leaders. And then there are just students who apply to go on PLIA.
Oh, okay.
And each group has like 8 to 12. Like we were on the smaller end. Some groups had 12, I think. And then, yeah, it's just groups who go to these sites around the US and do service projects. So there's groups that go to Denver, Colorado Springs, Austin, Houston, Mendenhall, Mississippi, Inez, Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis. So, yeah, it's just a spring break opportunity for students to serve.
Nice. That is cool.
Sounds very wholesome.
Yeah. Oh, I have one other kind of funny story from the whole thing. So Northwestern College in Orange City does a similar thing. I don't know what it's called. My mom, when I was talking to her, she said, oh yeah, I did that. Like it doesn't have an acronym. It's like spring break serve or something. But one night we went to an ice cream shop in Denver. And as we were walking up, this group of college kids came up to us and said, hey, we're you guys, except from Northwestern. And we're like, first of all, that's cool. Second of all, how do you know who we are? And they said they had seen basically before we go, all the groups like decorate their van and write a bunch of weird stuff on it. We actually decorate a different group's van. So like the group going to Austin decorated ours and wrote like, I don't know, random stuff like call this number or text this number, how's my driving, or honk if you love Jesus. So we got honks all week, which was fun.
Venmo
but anyways, the group knew it was us because we had Go Defenders written on our van. And also, I mean, it's a 12-passenger van from Sioux County, Iowa, so there aren't that
Where
many
else would it be?
options. Yeah. So they had seen our van, and they said, we also saw you in the middle of Nebraska in a parking lot because they had also driven down the same day as us and stopped at the same place for lunch.
No way.
We had seen them. We didn't see them, but they had seen us on the way. And then like some random night, we went to the same ice cream shop at the same time and met up again. And then on Saturday, we were driving into Rocky Mountain National Park, and there was a fork in the road. And we went left, and
You picked it up.
we took the fork. We went left, and from the right, like right before we turned left, there was a van, and it turned right in front of us, and it was from Sioux County, and we didn't go to the same hike as them. They turned off like before us, but then when we came back to our van later, someone had like scratched "Raiders Stand Out," which is like Northwestern's tagline, in the dust in our van. So we like met them again in Rocky Mountain National Park. It was just kind of wild.
Dang, 3 times.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say they scratched it into the van. It was like a
No.
key.
They didn't key our van. It was just like
That's
a
good.
finger written in the dust.
And what did they write?
That sounds like a good song title.
Raiders
Finger in
stand
the
out.
dust.
It's like what they have on all their billboards.
Raiders stand out. Okay.
That's their tagline.
Okay.
Makes sense. That's funny. The coincidences.
Very coincidental. Mitch, go for it.
All right.
Oh boy.
I've been
The moment
waiting.
y'all
I've been
been
waiting
waiting
for
for.
this forever. For a year, I've been waiting for this.
Okay. So, before the full week that we had off, I just was chilling at home, enjoying the time off. Was this the first week I volunteered?
I might have been.
I think it was. So I think this was the
Sounds
first
about right.
week that I volunteered at Spring Lake Park. So that was a fun time. And I don't really remember much else. But I leave for Orlando on Sunday night, and we land in Orlando at like 12:30 a.m. and don't get into our hotel until, I don't know, probably 1 or 1:30. But we are there for the whole week at Universal Studios once again. And so, if you remember from last time, I wrote down a few notes.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, did you find your dime? Or are you gonna get that?
I'll
to
get
that
there.
later. Okay.
so one of them was the extremely minor inconsistencies at Universal, as I stand in these lines multiple times and notice very minute things. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. So the first one, there's 3 in one video in the Rip Ride Rocket line. So it kind of explains how you get onto the ride and safety precautions and whatever garble they put in because they have to. So first, the woman steps onto the loading platform. Her foot on the screen goes through the barrier twice as it goes up and it goes down, because they're emphasizing you have to go over the barrier.
Yep.
But it goes through it twice.
Can't do that.
Second, there's another guy next to her, and he straps into a seat and he says, "Tummy check on aisle 2," but they're in the front row. So it's aisle 1, actually.
Oh my.
Sorry. And lastly,
I don't think that's an inconsistency.
just randomly, there's no closed captions. So you just can't tell what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next one, Revenge of the Mummy. This one's one of the oldest rides here. And I think they've used the same video for probably 20 plus years. But,
Wow.
so one of the interview series is with an Egyptologist. And they say that the locals were doing pottery related things, but the caption says pottery related things. They misspelled related.
Got him. Ladies and gentlemen,
We got it.
I think you should ask for your money back, honestly.
that's why he gets the dime.
Okay, and I found 3 inconsistencies at the Spider-Man
Oh
3D
boy.
experience. So, the first one, the closed captions and what the scientist says doesn't completely match, but eventually catches back up to the right words said at the right time. So what he says and what the closed caption says doesn't match up, but eventually at the end of a sentence, they'll match up again.
That is a slight inconsistency.
Yes.
I've ever heard one.
Second one, in the regular queue line, there's a video that plays J. Jonah Jameson that gets interrupted by the Sinister Syndicate. During a particular interruption, Doc Ock shows the unbelievers of his power how the levitation ray works. When he shoots the train, once to go up and the next to reset gravity to normal for it to fall in the river. Both shots are green. However, in the actual ride towards the end, Doc Ock resets the scoot vehicle's gravity by shooting a red blast instead of it being green.
That's crazy.
And then last one for Spider-Man, in the express line, there's a bunch of office doors that lead to different rooms. And funnily enough, they're all in Comic Sans.
Oh.
All of them were written in Comic Sans.
Funnily
But they
enough.
spelled advertising with a Z. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. Simpsons, and this is a part of in the queue line, they play favorite moments from the Simpsons show. in the Canyonero car commercial. At one scene, a stamp is put on an American flag that says Canyonero, but it's spelled Canyonero, when the whole time the closed captions have been saying Canyonaro. So they used the wrong vowel.
It happens.
Escape from Gringotts. This is during the ride.
Harry Potter.
First scene where the goblin approaches you on a minecart to go to a vault, and the alarm goes off. The goblin and the passengers riding with him start to back away before the alarm goes off because there's intruders, and that's you. But they start to back away before they even know.
Ah.
And then I just wrote a little note for next time where I hid 2 more dimes. But, so I hid 2 dimes in the same time I was in the queue line. I went back the next day and looked for the dimes, and one of them was gone already.
What?
Yeah. I guess it was kind of obvious, like behind a pillar, but I checked the other one, and that one was still there. So I'm kind of curious, and this is where it'll connect to my other dime. The first dime I ever hid, I never found it.
Oh, really?
I checked in every single crevice in the ceiling. I couldn't remember where it was exactly, but I eventually found the spot where I put it, and I was putting my finger in all these cracks, and I couldn't find the dime.
You
So,
should have taken a picture of it.
yeah, that's what I should have said. It's like I should have put the dime there, taken a picture of it. But I was thinking maybe it was like too obvious to the people behind me, and so someone saw it, and it's just like they were looking up there. It's like, oh, there's a dime here. All right, yoink.
Or someone that listens to the podcast went and took it.
Went to Orlando and found the exact spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one more dime left in that line that I can find.
And it's you.
Yep. Yeah. So that is now 12 total inconsistencies that are extremely minor at Universal.
Can you send a letter? I think you should like every month send the same letter to Universal Studios and see if
Yeah, I should just send them this note and
Yeah.
just see what happens. Like, hey, I've gone to Universal like 4 or 5 different times now, and I've noticed these extremely minor inconsistencies in your videos and your queue lines. Can you please fix this?
Yeah, I think you should.
I want my money back.
Yeah.
Or I want a free admission.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
Mitch. I think the
This has
people-
been
Yeah.
Minor Inconsistencies at
This
Universal.
has been another
with Mitch.
installment of extremely minor inconsistencies at Universal.
You need to put like music under that segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we flew back, and I got back to the dorm at 12:55 is what I said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the rest is history.
Now we're here. Just
Now we're
guys being dudes.
here. Yep. What's better than this?
I don't know. Anyways, gotten some good feedback on our trivia game last week. It's a lot of good feedback. People liking
From who?
it.
Your
Yeah.
mom?
I liked it.
My mom did actually say she liked it, but
See?
Annika Stone said she liked it.
Stoner.
Someone else, couple other people said they liked it. Josh, did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Did you guys decide that we're like all gonna host one?
I think so.
I would like to do that.
I think that is a thing.
I claim the video game section.
All right. But it's got to be funny.
Yeah.
Funny video games.
Okay. Like Supermarket Simulator.
No, that one's serious. That's not funny.
No, yeah.
We don't
that's
joke
right.
about
That's
that
strictly business.
Yeah.
Yep.
Business. Anything else to say before we wrap this one up? Like my car was wrapped up in the snow this morning.
That's a good one.
No one?
Be safe when you do donuts, kids, but you should try it.
Yeah.
It's a good skill
Please
to
donut
learn.
responsibly.
Yeah.
Do it in like a very wide open space.
Wide open parking lot.
With
Like
no
not
random
even a
light
parking
poles in
lot
the
with
middle.
light poles.
Like
Yeah.
wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We-
start slow.
We are not responsible for any car damage. Parents, if you're listening, we will not take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Legally, don't do donuts.
But
Wink, wink.
yeah.
But off camera.
Off the record.
off the record, you should do donuts.
Off the record.
So, anyways, we'll wrap this one up. Josh, you want to finish us out here?
Hey, and happy Good Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Wait,
Yeah.
is it
Today-
Oh, wait.
sad Good Friday?
Sad-
Happy Good
Good Friday.
Happy
Oh,
Easter. Have a great Easter.
Sincere
everyone.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sincere Good Friday and have a
Sincerely
very
Good
happy
Friday.
Easter. Jesus is the reason for the season. Wait,
Yeah.
that's Christmas.
He's risen.
I mean, it works here too.
Yeah.
Have
Mary
people
Chrysler.
changed he is risen to like
Yes.
he is Rizzen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He is risen.
I knew I couldn't be the first one to have thought of that,
Yeah.
but I optimistically hoped that I had been.
No, yeah.
No, there's
Yeah.
T-shirts with
There's
it.
always a chance.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, but it's also funny.
It is
Yes.
kind of funny.
Well,
It is.
thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our spring breaks. Hopefully, Evan will be on a future episode and we can get a recap of his as well because I want to know what he did. But in the meantime, we'll sign off for this episode and we'll see you here next week. Hope you all have a great day.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
See you in the next realm.
Peace out, gang.